Doodles, Smurf here. So today we have your first official lesson on how to draw. I have prepared a practice sheet and it is a 2-page PDF file which you can download from my Gumroad. So I'll leave the links for that in the description. The whole purpose of this sheet is to warm ourselves up before we start doing some artwork. It is also a good thing to practice repeatedly if you struggle with drawing. You can do this sheet with any material you like. So for example, if you were going to get into painting, you might want to try using your different size paintbrushes and doing these exercises with your paintbrush and your paint. It will help you get used to the medium you're trying to use. So as we saw in the introduction video, we already know how to draw by drawing characters. So the first thing we're going to warm up with is writing down the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now when I write, I tend to move my sheet slightly, which is fine. And then we're going to jump into our first box. As you can see down here, I've got it written dots, and there are some dots as examples. So the point of this exercise is to try and be exact with where you are putting your dots. So we want to try and keep them in line. And maybe even evenly space them. This is helping hand-to-eye coordination. And just a small disclaimer, I obviously have not done any warming up today, so this is fresh. You can kind of expect the same from yourself as well. Our next box is focusing on doing diagonal lines. So when I do my diagonal lines, I try to go up, down, so I'm getting a better range of motion from my wrist. And then, because there's still plenty of paper we can use, if you can teach yourself not to let your arm rest on the paper, I highly suggest you do that. It'll help you later. But as we can see, I'm just pretty simple, leave my hand on the paper kind of girl, so I need to practice this too. It's really hard. Vertical lines, up, like the arrow indicates, and then down. Now when you download this, you will find there will be a link to this video on the bottom, just in case you ever need it to go through the instructions again. And we're going to go horizontal lines, which I'm obviously clearly not very good at. And then curved lines, so following that curve indicator there, and then back the other way. And wavy lines. With these indicators here, it's showing you the directions to do the wavy lines in. Yay! Right, random marks. It's just all about loosening your hand up. And if you can, while you're doing these exercises, try and relax your grip on your pencil. So if you're anything like me, you probably hold on to it like grim death, like it's going to run away from you or something. Like it's virtually trying to just jump out of your hand. Relaxed grip makes for better work and less of this mess, most likely. Moving on, next box is zigzags. So with our zigzag box, we're just going to go upwards. Do them downwards too. And we'll go this way. And then we'll do some diagonals. There we go, zigzags done. Now we're going to do some vertical 8s. Now we've got horizontal 8s, more like infinity symbols. Randomly sized small circles. Think of it like drawing bubbles. Right, our next box that we're going to do involves small squares and tic-tac-toes. Just draw a little square and a tic-tac-toe. Oops, that's a grabby one, isn't it? My little squares definitely need some work. Now we're going to do waves. These arrow indicators here are to indicate where the peak of your wave should be. So that one says the peak of the wave should be that way. So, and I'm just trying to do it all in one swift movement. And the next one is an upright wave. And the next one's going to be pointing that way. There we go. Our next box is hatching. You've probably heard of cross hatching. Same kind of thing. We're just going to go like this though. Different directions. On this side of the box, I'm going to actually cross hatch my hatching. In our next box, we're going to practice doing spirals. So that's our first warm-up page done, and that didn't take too long. Now we're going to move on to the harder stuff. You can see you've got your alphabetic character warm-up as well. This is in lowercase, and this one is in capitals. So we're going to write this one in capitals. Now we're going to do our best. The first one we're going to draw is a standard circle. And do your best to get it as circular as possible. Next thing we're going to do is triangle. Pretty straightforward and simple. Now the idea with this is not that you're seeking perfection, it's just practice. As you do it more often, then you can think about perhaps really being a bit finicky with it. Depending on what you're trying to get out of this. If it's just purely to warm your hands up, then just do it easy as. If you're trying to improve your drawing skills, get better at your triangles, get better at your shapes, that kind of thing, take more time with it. Next one we're going to do is a star. Now this star, you will see what I mean when I do the star, but as you can see, it's really hard to get one like that from the get-go. So we are going to do a construction star without letting our hand off the paper. Our next grid requires us to do some rectangles. Our next grid requires ovals. Next one is ellipse. Now, ellipses are something that you really need to practice if you want to be doing stuff with like realism, where you're drawing vases or cups or bottles or that kind of thing. Being able to manipulate a circle so that you can have it bigger and then smaller, etc. is really good. The trick with ellipses is they do not have any sharp edges, right? So for example, I'll show you an ellipse that is wrong. Not what we want. Move along, buddy, I'm videoing. Generally, when you do an ellipse, that's pretty good. But the easiest way to get it as correct as possible is to keep going. Because we want soft edges, we don't want a leaf. Okay, that is not what we want. So that's why you're practicing with this one. Next one is to try and draw the shape, which is an egg. So we would have a smaller curve at the top, going into a bigger curve at the bottom, and then back up to the small curve. That's a pretty good egg. Let's see if we can do it upside down. Not quite. Try again. That's a bit better. We're getting into the harder stuff. This is where we start doing 3D objects, or trying to. Now, a cylinder. To construct a cylinder, you need to draw an ellipse. So there's my not so bad ellipse. You need a line and a line. Bottom part of the ellipse to make it actually look like a cylinder. So we're going to do a curve, and then we've got a really okay cylinder. Now we're going to draw a sphere. Now a sphere is really quite hard to draw unless you're doing a lot of shading and stuff to accentuate the fact that it is, you know, not a flat circle. I want you to practice doing a sphere here. We're going to do it in the construction sense. So basically we're going to draw what you would think a globe looks like. So bear with me here because this can get tricky sometimes. So we're going to start with our circle, which is not the best circle, but it'll do for now. Then we're going to find our middle point at the top, our middle point at the bottom, and we're going to go like this, like we're drawing a basketball almost. So we've got 2 lines to start with. Now we're going to do this one out wider, and then for the rest of it you're going to do more lines, but they're going to have curves in them. Now we're going to do a hemisphere. So basically we want our ellipse again. That's pretty good, not perfect, but we're not after perfection. We're going to draw half a circle. So we've just done our hemisphere, which, as you can see, has the makings of a cereal bowl, if you so choose. Moving on to our cone. So our cone, which is a little bit more complex, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can do an ellipse at the bottom, roughly, and then join your cone up at the top. Or you can just try and do it without the ellipse. For example, this is the back side of the ellipse. So go like this, go from here, down to here, and then join it up like that. And obviously it will get better with more practice. Now you can do your cube in a variety of ways. So the first most obvious one is to just draw a square. Shoot some lines out at a particular angle, keeping to the same angle as you do it. And then you would join it in like so. Other way you can do it is you can do it this way. So it's like a slanty diamond shape, which is not perfect. Totally screwed it actually. Part of learning. Right. And you put your lines down. And then try and match your angles. So that should be a little bit narrower. So a cuboid is basically a 3D rectangle. Like so, rough up there. Angle, match the angle. So then we have a rough cuboid. So a triangular prism is basically, you start with a triangle, and then you put out your lines, and then you want the same angle that you had here down here. And after that we have the pyramid. The pyramid can be done in 2 ways. You can have a long line, 2 short lines like an arrow, and then join it up at the bottom. Or you can be super duper flash, and with your super duper flashness you can draw a square, it's angled, and then you can put your points up. And then you have the pyramids. So this was just a quick way to warm up, practice your 3D shapes, practice lines, etc. And then after you've done that, you should be able to draw a cute little mushroom like this. Right, so we'll turn it over and I'll show you how basically you're going to draw a mushroom. So with what we've already learned, we need an ellipse, but we want to leave it open at the bottom for the stalk to come in. And then we're going to do a curvy line. And then we're going to do another curvy line on the other side. And we're going to join it up with a part of a circle. Then we are going to do an extra big curvy line out here and around the sides, up there, round and down. Right, and look, it doesn't even match up on that side. Right, and then we're going to do another bit of a circle for the top of our stalk. And then we're going to put in some little lines to show that this is the underside of the mushroom. So we're going to think of it like rays of sunshine in a sense, to show that this changes. Straight one, curving down, curving down, down, down. So now that looks like a little mushroom, doesn't it? Now we want to add, I'm envisioning this as one of those red poisonous mushrooms, obviously, so then we want some of the little areas that would be white. There, just for argument's sake. So now we're really starting to look like a mushroom, and these are all things that you've practiced in these sheets, so there's no reason why you can't do this mushroom. Then we're going to do a couple of little eyes, which we've learned how to do in our randomly sized small circles, and we're going to give it a smiley face, a circle really, and then I'm just going to shade in some cheeks. So there you go, guys. So after doing the exercises in this sheet, you should be able to draw a mushroom. Now I would love to see your mushroom. If you like, you can email me pictures of your mushroom and I will feature the best mushroom in another video with our little drawing tutorials. So if you could do that, that would be great. I would love to see how you got on. You can even send me some photos of how you got on with the worksheet if you like. That would be great. I'd love to see that. And remember guys, until I see you next time, keep on doodling.